r/ask Reddit. What is a sign that you're unattractive? Several people send you the same poem about being beautiful on the inside. Yep, that happened. Damn. I'll give you my heart if you trade me your svelte figure. Beach. When people talk to you in order to get to know your friend. Man, I felt that punch in the gut. Used to happen to me all the time. Yup, that happened to me when I was in high school. I remember it was literally the worst feeling in the world, especially when that person was someone you found attractive. Happened to me in junior high. My best friend, hot new guy, and I engaged in a water fight during lunch. The bell rang and he touched my shoulder and asked if I could stay back a second because he wanted to ask me something. After 3 years of walking quietly in the shadow of my best friend's incredibly massive middle school breasts, I cannot describe the feeling of finally being seen by someone I liked. He asked me if my best friend would say yes if he asked her out, even though my soul was crumbling out my butt in that moment. I told him she would, and walked her over to him, picking up my backpack and walking to class all alone, looking back and seeing them holding hands and smiling into each other's faces. I think he's gay now. The only people who smile at you are people who work in retail. Ha, joke's on you, I had a red district girl smile at me. When I worked at a homeware store, I greeted a guy and we started conversation, can't remember how, but it ended with him gesturing to my face and saying beauty isn't on the outside, it's on the inside. I'm sure he meant well, but God, did that cause a spiral of self-consciousness. I was only 15. Years ago I used to work in a car lot. Had some guy come in and tell me how I look just like one of his relatives, except she as pretty guy was a total dong. When the popular kids would prank their friends by getting you to ask their friend out. I was asked out by one of the popular girls in high school once. I thought she was messing with me, so I said no. Turns out she genuinely wanted to date me. Low self-esteem sucks. You are not alone. When someone of the opposite gender hugs all your friends but high-fives you, don't be hurtful. Like in Harry Potter when Hermione finally comes back and hugs Harry but shakes Ron's hand. Whose wand ended up doing magic in her? Small kids saying you are ugly. Yes. Or ask about a certain aspect of your appearance. Why is your head so ruby? Yike. Little known fact. Movie stars have large heads in relation to their bodies. Maybe fact was too strong, so let's go with it's rumored that. When you post a picture to social media and all the comments are about how brave you are. I love your courage. I'm a wheelchair user who sometimes does photo shoots. I hear this a lot. Not many understand why it hurts to hear. You never, or rarely, catch people looking at you. And if they do, it's to look at how ugly you are. If you tell a self-deprecating joke, everyone will look uncomfortable or get quiet. Edit. Well, my most popular comment by far is about self-deprecating jokes. Fun. This hits home way too hard. Those are the hardest ones to pull for anyone though. If the delivery and timing of the joke isn't perfect, it doesn't matter who said it. You get the sympathy smile. Ah, yeah, this one hurts. What's interesting about the sympathy smile is that it looks like a normal smile, except you can feel the sympathy part. Yep, it's like someone worked in a wordless "oh, honey" combined with a "you poor, brave little thing." Like you're a trooper for not shooting yourself in the face and just existing like that every single day. When the guy in the van is suddenly all out of candy. When you are the one with the candy. The government asks you to wear a mask in public and stay 6 feet away from everyone. Duck. I might be ugly, guys. When your friends describe you as someone with a big heart and a good sense of humor. When people's eyes just consistently glaze over you. When you go clothes shopping with a friend and the shop clerks greet your friend when you enter the store, but not you. That's usually who's in front, who's taller, or who's on the right if the person is right-handed thing. When your husband tells you you need to put on some makeup and do your hair when you already have. When your husband wants you to look at the great shape on her, has never even told you that you are pretty, and says he only married you because he thought I wouldn't have work and you would take care of me. I wish I can find a partner just like you. One time while going to the gym, a guy held open a door for these smaller, prettier girls and then just stopped holding it for me, face with big pleading eyes. To be fair, It's kind of unspoken to let the first 2-3 people in and hand off door duty to the next person. I had really bad acne in high school. It sucked at the time, but now I can laugh at the fact I used to look like a lumpy tomato. But babies would always cry and I recall a lot of dogs barking at me. I had facial acne and then horrible back acne, which meant that I couldn't take my shirt off as a teenager. The anxiety and horror of dealing with this was unbearable. I could write a book about it. You're 13 and at a sleepover and a fellow 13-year-old you've known for 20 minutes looks you straight in the eye and, unprompted, says you're really ugly. I'm less ugly now, but it was true at the time. You'll beat Jordan. When people don't laugh when you joke about how unattractive you are. And then you purposely laugh at your own joke to signal to people that it is a joke and they should laugh because you now feel very uncomfortable. But they'd rather you feel uncomfortable than risk seriously hurting your feelings by laughing. When it takes the bartender 15 minutes to notice you. Sometimes this is the opposite. The bartenders ignore the hot chicks at the bar. They will gladly serve the ugly guy desperately trying to hit on the ladies. They tip well. Your parents make you live in the shed out back and only feed you biscuits with mustard. You get mustard? You guys are getting biscuits? When your friends say they want to set you up with someone, and they'll run it by the other person then get back to you, then you never hear about it ever again. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm unattractive. I mean, I simply might not be their type. But also, it's happened a few times now, so you're always the one who has to start a conversation. Conversations end when you try and participate. If you say something along the lines of I'm ugly in a social situation and everyone gets really awkward and uncomfortable instead of disagreeing, you're unattractive. Or people could just be awkward that someone is either fishing for compliments or straight up putting themselves down in front of others expecting a response. When they always mention how funny or smart you are. When you're at a party and you stand by the keg for 10 minutes while the dude in charge of filling cups ignores you in favor of all the hot girls who came over after you. At least you get invited to the parties. You're always the smart cousin, never the pretty cousin. The only compliment you get is that you're funny. Clicking on this thread to see how many things you relate to. When you joke about someone liking you and they act like it's the most repulsive thing in the world. Being asked out as a joke. Yep, that really destroyed my confidence and any and all feelings of self-worth as a 16-year-old girl. It's been 12 years and I'm in my first relationship and I still struggle to believe that a guy could actually like me. People social distancing to me before it was a thing. When you go to get your picture taken at the DMV and they turn the flash off. My face breaks the camera so the DMV uses a sketch artist. When you post a selfie saying you're ugly and everyone is nice instead of accusing you of fishing for compliments. When you get bounced at the club where regular people get in easily. I once got kicked out of a club for zero reason other than you don't belong here. That shit hit me for months. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.